Welcome to the Allured Life podcast. My name is Katy Christ, and in 2016, I wrote down in a journal that I was going to become unapologetically my best self. And my purpose is to help women do the same, whether that's overcoming body image issues, creating next level inner confidence, or up-leveling our emotional intelligence and sense of worth. I believe that by investing in and developing who we are, we can exponentially transform the world we live in. My mission is to create power and influence in the hands of women. These are conversations for those ready to rise. This is the Allured Life podcast. Let's go all in. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Allured Life podcast. I'm your host, Katy Christ Youngdahl. Fun fact, actually, just because I got a wedding invitation addressed to Katy Christ Youngdahl, Katy Christ, so Chris is actually my middle name. So I officially changed my name to where I no longer have my middle name. I want you to guess it. What is every other woman that was born in the 90s middle name is? Murray. So my middle name was Marie, and now it's Christ, which I love. I love that I kept it. But hello, guys. Welcome this week. What we're going to be talking about. So this is coming out on 8/8. 8/8. And if you are into astrology, you know that 8/8 is a pretty significant date in the astrology world. It's a big manifestation world. I'm not so into or knowing of astrology so much. I have fun with it though. I have colleagues of mine that are really, really into it. And I just don't know. I don't know enough about it. I feel like if I got really, really into it, Ryan would be like, "What are you doing, Katy?" But what I do love about it is it does create these spaces, these little pockets of seemingly random days that you actually do contemplation. You are. It's just instead of where it's like every single day in my morning routine, I'm going to sit and contemplate, or I'm going to journal, or every Sunday is my contemplation day. And if you're anything like me, I like to mix my routine up. I like to mix it up. What I also like about just these random, and I know they're not random astrology. And if you're listening to this, if you're really into astrology, you're like, Katy, you are so naive right now. What I love though about it is just, it feels like they are to me random days that become more fun, honestly. It becomes more fun to be like, today is the day that I am like, it is my manifestation day. I'm going to take today. Or I've been doing this a lot with like full moons or new moons or the summer solstice, winter solstice. It's just a fun day to do something that has been a goal of mine, is to create more contemplative days, to actually sit and contemplate. Not just sit and think, sit and contemplate what I want my life to look like, to be really introspective. So going inside me and really understanding, okay, what do I desire? What are my wants? What are my feelings or thoughts about things? Not what the universe is saying, or not what, actually, no, I don't want to say that, because I do believe that whatever the universe or God, I feel like there's a connection inside and introspection. So that's neither here nor there. What I meant to say was, what is society trying to dictate me to do, or have, what I should be doing? Really looking introspective and also looking retrospective. So I like this little playing. I know it doesn't totally make sense, but in business, you get an ROI, a return on investment. And within the personal development space, the ROI sometimes isn't seen right away. You don't snap your finger and have success right away. In fact, actually, in the business world, it takes 2 or 3 years for many businesses to even make a profit. For them to be like, it's not unnormal for people to be in thousands and millions and bajillion dollars in debt before they see a profit. So in the personal development space, I want to see results. And so my return on investment, the time investment that I'm putting into myself, the energy investment that I'm putting into myself, the ROI that I always get, the return on investment, is retrospection and introspection. So retrospection being, look at what has happened in the past and grab the nuggets of golden nuggets of lesson learned, versus looking at the past and finding shame, guilt, or fault. We're instead finding golden nuggets. That's our return on investment. And then also looking in introspection, looking inward. What do we feel? What are our thoughts? What are our beliefs? What is our body wisdom telling us is the right path just for us? Not something that we should be doing, not something that we're told to be doing, not something that we're trying to form into a box or mold. It's, what do you believe about you to be true? That's confidence. Confidence is the ability to know your own truth without somebody else needing to tell you it to be true, without somebody else saying to, I know this to be true, and then it's true. It's, what do you know about yourself to be true? That is confidence. That's confidence. All right. So in that, then we're going to do a little bit of ROI right now. So on this 8/8 day, I think it's, in the past I've taken stuff, but I know it was on 8/8/2022. So it's 8/8/2022 is called Lion's Portal. So I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm just going to look at, you know what? It's really, really fun when it's 8/8. So August 8th, 8/8. I like when it's 10/10, when it's 11/11, when it's 12/12. I like angel numbers. So a lot of the times, and I haven't been perfect on this, I will put in my calendar on those dates to do some manifestation work, to do some journaling, to do my own ROI. That's not on the first of the month or the first Sunday, because I feel, again, it's just in the feeling of it. It's just in the feeling. And again, I'm not perfect at this. And this is more so for me to be like, get your act together, Katy, have more fun with this, and just take some day to be like, I'm going to dream today. I'm going to think about what I want for the rest of 2023 to look like, what it's going to feel like. What are the possible things that I think I can achieve or experience at the end of 2023? Or the end in a year at this time? What do I want to be doing at this, with this year? Or where am I going? It doesn't have to be a time frame per se that you want to do it right now, this practice, but I like it because we have August, September, October, November, December. We have 5 months left of 2023. 5 months. And the thing with, I feel like in August, we're kind of riding the wave of the summer. And then we get into September, we're like, okay, I got to get back on track with what I've been focusing on, whether that, again, I work a lot with women that it's about their health, but also in terms of business or goals that you've been putting in place, or God forbid, some New Year's resolutions that we set way back when in January. It's like when the months get a little bit colder, at least here in Wisconsin, people start to kind of get back into their routines, get back into, it's this big thing, this big feeling of, I got to get back on track, is the feeling I feel like in September. And how do I know this a lot is that a lot of the women that I coach on, again, I'm just going to talk about because it's not so much in the energetics realm. It's more so in actually, no, this does apply. I saw a theme in the couple of years that I've been doing business. It's September has been a big month of just like, quote unquote, women saying, I got to get back on it. I got to get back. And they never want to start in August. They never want to start in July because they're like, I want to enjoy my summertime. I want to be off. And then September is the rev back in month. It's like September is the good month to get back in, and October is like, oh my gosh, I only have 3 months left in the year. Like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until January. It truly is. It's like that. So like September is for some reason, the energy behind September is go. And then if you miss the go in September and it's October, you're like, well, it's going to be Thanksgiving soon. And God forbid if you get to November and you're like, oh, well, I try to start in September and I sucked in that and I try, oh my God, okay, October, I'm not even there yet. And then if you're there in November, it's so many. It's just like, nope. All right. After the holidays. So right then and there, that's 5 months right now of your year. If you're saying in August, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my summer. And then in September, I'm going to start. September, you say, this is the time I'm going to start. But if you don't actually like consistently are consistent in September, then October, you have a little bit of an urgency. You're like, oh my gosh, I only have 3 months left. And then if you still don't get there, then in November, you're like, screw it. I'm going to wait until 2024. So let's have more fun with the energy around the beginning and use things like 8-8 to be like, okay, 8-8, magic number. 8-8, eights are all about like having a rich life. Rich. I think 888 is like a money, I don't know. But what I'm committing to and what I want you, this 8-8, to be thinking about is just in the next 5 months, what I'm going to have you, and I actually this was inspired by a phone call that I had with my mom. She is moving to a new town. And I hope she doesn't mind that I'm talking about her, but she's moving to a new town and she was alone. It's like she was living in Madison, Wisconsin with me. My sister moved back while her husband was, he was overseas on deployment. My brother is 2 hours away in Chicago. We were all here. Her family's here. Her sister's an hour away. We have family that always come back to Madison. This was her zone. And so she's moving to a new place in Austin, Texas. If you're listening to this and you're from Austin, Texas, reach out because I want to create a list for her of just like things that in the next 5 months, you're like, I want to experience everything Austin has for me. So that's the inspiration for this conversation. So 8-8 is a big day in, astrology, all about manifestation, all about putting our dreams and desires out there, whether that's to the universe or to God, and to just dream and trust that it will happen for you. It's going to happen for you. So let's just play with that then. Let's play with it. This is what I told my mom. I was like, just play with this and say, okay, in 5 months of me being here, or longer for her, but I was just like, okay, let's just put it in 5 months. What are 55 things that you want to do, experience, or have in Austin? And that's something that I want you to ask yourself. You don't have to move. I know it's like my mom, I was very much like, you are living in such a fun area. Have fun with this. But I also want to, if you are just living your mundane life right now, take the time to say, okay, I have 5 months left in 2023. What are 55 things I want to do or have or experience? Because we are building up a life that we love. So why don't you create your list and actually do it? Actually like plan for them. Actually say, okay, I'm going to take 8-8 today as a day of manifestation. What do I want? What do I desire? What do I want to be and live into and have and do and experience? And just the reason why I say 55 or 55 is because doesn't that feel like a huge ass number? You're like, you want me to do 55 things in 5 months? Do you see my to-do list already? Like, and I can't even get to it. I like that. I like that these lists are going to be grand and big and voluptuous and almost seem impossible to accomplish. Because when you start to actually, and I've helped clients with this too, of just kind of creating their list and then actually start to structure it out, actually start to plan things out, and actually start to see that some of the things aren't that hard to accomplish. It's just taking some time to be a little bit of introspective, retrospective, and create contemplation time to actually be intentional of planning them out. So let's just have fun with this. 55 things that you would like to experience, to do, or to have at the end of 2023. What is it? And because I'm me and because I don't, I'm going to give you a couple of more ways to create this list. I know when people, okay, I know that 55 is a big, big, big thing. If I left the podcast right there, if I left this coaching session just right here, you're like, wait, where do I even start? So here are a couple of tactics to help you flush this out. Get a pen and paper for this, by the way. If you're driving, re-listen to this. So these are the ways that I like to structure out my 55 list, or I did this practice at the beginning of July. So I made an 88 list. I like my 8s. I've also started this at the beginning of the year and made it a 111 list as well too. So play with whatever number feels good. If 55 doesn't feel good, that's okay. Play with a number that does feel good. But I will challenge you to try to get 55. So here are, I think right now I'm thinking of 2 different ways to create this list. So the first way is to structure this, and I got this practice from Melanie Ann Layer, of creating a list of predictable, possible, and potential goals on your 55 list. So predictable, possible, and potential. So let's dictate or figure out what those are. So predictable goals are things that you know you can do. Buy underwear. Go and get makeup. Schedule a massage. Predictable things that if it's just on your, all you need to do, quote unquote, is put it in your calendar and do them. It doesn't take a lot of other things to put into play other than you. It's like predictable things are almost, think of if you had an assistant and you just gave it to the assistant. He or she or they could easily just do it. They don't need a lot of like things in place. So predictable. A couple of things are mine are read a Jane Austen book. Predictable. I can go and pick up a Jane Austen book, either order it on Amazon or go to the library, read a Jane Austen book. Another one was order makeup. I need a restock of makeup, and that is definitely something that I push off until I'm like at the last drop of, I'm like mixing my moisturizer with my foundation to get the last drop of the foundation or of the skincare. That was another one is order a fun skincare like routine products, which I use. It's called Beauty Pie, by the way. I love it. It's a membership site, but it's where they, what's the right term? They don't jack up the prices. It's like just like for sale, wholesale, I think, on there. I really love it. I think the products are absolutely amazing. If you want to try that out, Ryan and I both do the same skincare now. And then that's where I get my makeup too. So Beauty Pie. I've done that. Buy a candle. Easy things that you're just like I love having a candle when I work. As you can see, if you're watching this on YouTube or on social media, you see it right behind me. So on my list of 55, it's have a candle. And maybe I'll say like have a candle for the fall time. Easy, predictable things. So your list could be a majority predictable if you wanted it to be. But I would encourage it to have all 3 of these: predictable, possible, potential, because it's more fun like that. It's more fun. Do you really want to just have a list of predictable things? Are you really excited about that list? Are you really stretching yourself with that list? No, not really. So what about possible? So possible goals or intentions or things are things that it's possible that you could achieve this, but there will be a little bit more planning in place. So a little bit more steps to put in place. So what's a potential possible could be lose 10 pounds. So you can't just say lose 10 pounds. It's going to hit it. I'm going to do that and it'll happen. You can't assign lose 10 pounds to your assistant and your assistant can do it. No, there's more in play with that. So possible goals are, again, things that you can't give to your assistant, that there's a couple of things that you actually do have to plan out. You have to reverse engineer just a little bit or have a plan in place. So possible goals are coincide with a plan. So a few of my possible goals. One of them actually is to, it's, I really want to lose like 2 inches off my stomach. I know I'm in the body image space and I'm all about confidence, but I feel like I'm carrying on to, I feel like I'm carrying on some energetic protection. Uh, I feel like I feel very, very vulnerable sharing this right now, but I've been doing a lot of deep work and I've been in the health and wellness space for a really, really long time. And I've been eating really, really well. I've been feeling my body. I've been working out and I've been doing also a lot of feminine energetics body work, unleashing some trapped emotion. And what I've experienced through unleashing that trapped emotion is a lot of the weight around my womb, around my stomach area, is a lot of protection. So that's something that I've been really leaning into of like, I think it's possible for me to make some traction on this, to lose 2 inches. And again, it's actually, no, this is a good time to think about for me to say this is your list of 55 things. They might not happen at the end of 2023. We're putting a very masculine structure by saying the end of 2023, these things will be done. That's not it's a push, it's a leverage, it's a doing energy for that, but it's not the end all be all for these things. So I want to make that very clear because I know so many people will have these lists. And if they don't accomplish all of it by 2023, they'll be really, really discouraged and they'll feel like, okay, I failed. Even if they got like 44 things. So I wanted to put that disclaimer just because I know, I just know. So the old paradigm of goal setting is you hit it or you didn't hit it. And if you didn't hit it, you failed. That's not what we're reaching for anymore. Stop it. What is amazing with this is that if you are wanting to continue this type of work, if you enjoy this, you have your list of 55. And even if on January 1st, you only got 22 things off of it, then you got the rest of those numbers to start your 111 list for that year. So it's like these things keep happening. And what's beautiful is that you will achieve everything on your list. We don't know when, we don't know how, but as long as there is intentionality in holding that list because it's coming from your heart's desire, not just a flippant, like just putting it on just because everybody else does it. That's why I said we're going to start this off with ROI. I feel like I'm saying that name wrong. Retrospection? No, whatever. If I'm saying it wrong, oops. Retrospection. Huh. I used to be terrified of public speaking, by the way. Even in my high school public speaking class, we had to do a speech on I did on a public figure, and I did mine on John Dillinger, who he's like a 1920s, like the 1930s Robin Hood of the time, like was a bank robber, but went against the banks that were quote unquote stealing money from other people, but whatever. And I was up in front of the class and I started my speech saying, Don Dillinger. So I switched the J and the D. Little side note into my life. I used to suck at public speaking. I used to sweat. When I started these videos, actually, it would take me 2 hours to record a 15-minute video. 2 hours to record a 15-minute video. It's because on my list of things that I wanted to do, be a good public speaker was one of them for my business. So it's like what's possible? What's possible is I know that I can create a skill of being a good public speaker. And that's still a skill that I'm still working on. So in some form or another, it's making my 111 list of like create like this one was now, and actually this was a predictable goal of mine, was to have a weekly podcast come out. So it's just these practicing. It's this sitting back and looking at the ROI, retrospection, that's how it's pronounced, and introspection, and understanding what do you want and desire and would like to experience, and then put that on your 55 list. And then on this 55 list, go plan them. You can plan the predictable easily by just every single, you just have, what I do is I have it on my phone, and at the beginning of every single month, I plan everything out now. And I just look, I'm like, okay, what can I fit in for my predictable list that I want to put in this month? Is this the month that I'm going to go apple picking with my cousins? Is this the month that I want to go and experience a shopping spree with my mother-in-law for Christmas? Bake cookies, learn how to bake cookies. She makes these amazing cookies. I'm like, I want to learn how to make that, or I want to make those with her. So like those are things on my list. So it's like, okay, this month, what am I going to prioritize and be intentional? And then it becomes fun when you look at your month. It's filled with so many things. And instead of just going through the motion of it's again, or you would never feel like you have enough time. You never feel like you have enough time. You're like, this is the month that I'm like, oh, I'm so far behind on Christmas shopping. I just want to enjoy the holidays. It's like, okay, put that on your 55 list of get shopping done before December. It's another one of my predictable goals. So then December, I can actually enjoy the holidays, or I can have a night where I'm watching Hallmark movies, drinking hot chocolate, and I'm wrapping gifts, like creating experiences that I want to experience. And so that can happen also too with our possible goals as well. It's just looking, okay, what's possible? What do I think I can like possibly do? Write it down and then just take some time to, okay, to get to that end result, that possible goal that I know that I like, if I just sat and was more intentional with, what do I need to do? And then reverse engineer it. So one of my possible goals is I want to have a monthly masterclass. That's damn good. Damn good. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to actually structure out. Okay, so I know exactly when I am planning to have these master classes, and I know the lead up time of what exactly I have to do. Okay, I have to create a page for people to sign up. I have to create the branding for the sales page that actually fires up people and kind of gets them into the energy of what this masterclass is going to be about. I need to outline what this masterclass, what do I want to say each day? Do I want to have it where it's one day? Do I want to have it where it's 5 days? Do I want to have it where it's 3 days? Okay, what does the structure look like in this masterclass? All right, now reverse it. Okay, when you know that, now how do I fill the gaps in between? Okay, I need to have some social media posts about this. Maybe I need to have some podcasts about this. Like how am I going to market this masterclass out? Okay, where am I going to get the inspiration for a masterclass? Okay, let's create a week of where we're actually sitting down and contemplating what this masterclass could look like. Do I need to research things? Do I need to listen to podcasts or programs that I've had in the past? Do you see all these things that when I say I want to have a monthly masterclass, that's what I know is possible. Okay, what do I need to plan then? Create the plan, then follow through on the plan. And then the last one is potential. Potential ones are fun, and the potential ones will be few and far between. And these are just, you don't know how it would possibly happen, but if it happened, oh my gosh, this would be amazing. So a potential one of mine a couple years back was buy a house. We had no idea how that was going to happen. Every house that we saw was either like we couldn't afford it or we got outbid as a first homeowner couple finding a house, it was impossible. And even just like the potential actually was find a house in this specific neighborhood. It felt impossible. But I was like, what if? Ryan and I would bike by this area. Like, what if we could have a house here? What if? What if? And so in 2022, the potential goal was buy a house in this neighborhood. We didn't know when. We didn't even know how the heck we were going to get it done because in all odds, it wasn't going to happen. Again, the market was crazy. People were buying left and right and outbidding the crap out of us. And then somehow, some woman said she was like, I just want to sell. I don't want to put it on the market. I want to sell to a young couple that are going to love this area, love this house, and build their family in it. This house deserves little babies in this house. And somehow that was us. God said, this is the house for you, potential. We didn't know how, we don't know when, but it happened. So these are the ones that just make life feel like magic. So what are some potential things? They're like, I don't know how. This is even, I am bold as fuck right now to even say that this is something that could potentially happen at the end of 2023. Put it down, make it exciting. Make it exciting. So then, I'm getting a lot into this one, but this one, I love this work. Then when you are going through your day or looking at goal setting or building up the momentum. So there's a thing that I like to talk about with my clients is momentum builds motivation. So there's days that we feel like anything is possible. I love my life. And there's also days like, oh my God, this day sucks. Nothing goes right. Nothing's great. Oh my gosh. Those are the days where when we have possible goals, the plan is really hard to stick to because you're like, it's not working. You ever have those days where you just lose all motivation? There is no motivation, nothing. On those days, those are the days that you looked at your predictable goals. And you look at, okay, what can I predictably do today that I set up as something that I want to accomplish at the end of 2023? The bad days are the days that you do your predictable things. And then on the days that you feel amazing, or you feel not even amazing, you feel level, you feel constant, you feel steady, maybe even a little steady step, a little higher, a little bit above. Then those are the days that you work on your possible. And then sometimes too, when you're in your best headspace, you think about the potential. But do not think about the potential when you are in this really, really hard days, because that's when we suck the life out of our potentiality. That's when we suck the life out of what is possible for us. And that's how we get stuck, where every single month or every single year, we have the same goddamn New Year's resolutions time and time and time again. Because when we have those sucky days, which quite often it's like 80% of our time sometimes is gone into that sucky or just gone into like the versus the I love my life, I'm seeing momentum. But that's how momentum builds motivation. So if we can strategize what you want by the end of 2023, you strategize and you're like, okay, this is awesome. Every single day, I don't have to be on, but I can keep the momentum going by having these predictable, because the predictable supports the possible. Because isn't it more often that if you get things done and you're like, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, that the things that have the plans, you have more motivation to actually do the things that you're like, I don't feel the win right after this. I don't feel a win right after I work out totally. Not losing 2 inches off of one workout. I don't feel the win of like creating a sustainable nighttime routine always. Or I don't feel the win of creating a sales page for this masterclass all the time. I have a lot of self-doubt that can come in your head. Like we have these things that pop up that when we have the possible plan, gets in our way because we don't see the wins right away. But we can look at the predictable things that we have and build the momentum there. Momentum builds motivation. So if we go with predictable and it shows that we can accomplish things, then that gives the motivation to stick with the plan that you put into place for the possible. And then once we get into there, then once we start to achieve the possible, then it's like, what if on the potential? So you see how all those can flow in together depending on your mood as well too. And it can support you when you're feeling not the best, or when you're feeling like, when you're feeling human, the predictable ones help you out, and they help support the possible, and the possible helps support the potential. Because once you start to achieve the possible, then you're like, maybe I could do this potential. And that's when the potential becomes the possible. And that's growth and evolution over the lifetime, where we're constantly growing and striving and achieving and striving and achieving and striving and achieving. And obviously, with that will come days that feel like failure. And that's when we go back to ROI, retrospection and introspection. When we obviously go through those failures, retrospection, what happened? What went wrong? What went well? What do I need to change moving forward? Okay. Boom. Change the plan. Plans can pivot. But as long as we just keep these 55 lists consistently growing, we can build upon them and build upon them and build upon them and build upon them. So I will be a lot shorter with this. Is my favorite way to create this list of 55. I know I promised you two, so I'm going to be quick on the second part. The second part is to make a list of the different areas in your life that are important. So you can have your health, you can have your relationships, you can have your love relationships, you can have your career, you can have your finances. So that's 5 right there. We have your health, your relationships, your love relationships. I'm going to put those into 2 categories. Your love relationship can be either your relationship with a partner or your love relationship with yourself too, whichever one feels most aligned. Then your career, and then your finances. 5 things. And you can look up different ones too. I like to use Brendan Burchard, his high performing habits. He has 10, which let me look up that for you. Okay, so his are, it's health, mental emotional state, partner/love, family, friends, mission, experiences, spirituality/faith/that which is greater, finances, and learning. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those are 10. So look at how easily that could be. If you take the 5 that I listed off at the beginning, then just have 11 for each one of those. Or if you have 10, 5 for each, 6 or 5 for each. Math, right? 5 total, and then you pick the ones that your favorite, or the ones that you want to work the most on, and then add it till you get to 55. So there you have it. 8-8, guys. You don't need the new year. You don't need the first month. You can just use astrology if you want to create these fun games, these fun days that create space for you to say, I am worthy enough and I want to have time for contemplation. Because the biggest shift for me, the biggest change for me that has helped decrease my anxiety, that has helped increase my productivity, that has helped fuel my motivation, has been creating space and knowing that my most important time of my workday, of my week, of my month is to create space for contemplation. That in contemplation, that's how I sharpen the saw. That's how I create a plan that I know is the right thing. That's how I create space and freedom in my life, because I'm not constantly thinking and thinking and thinking of what do I need to do more? Am I doing enough? Am I doing it like too little? Should I add more? Should I If you're constantly thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, or constantly doing, or constantly feeling like you're not enough, or just going and going, or you feel like you're burnt out, that's the biggest sign that you need more contemplation time in your day, in your week. So have fun with it. Say, do I want to have contemplation time on the first day of my period? Do I want to have contemplation time on the first day of every single month? Do I want to have contemplation time on the full moon and the new moon and all, like, whatever feels good for you? Just promise me you're going to structure in some contemplation time. Contemplation for ROI. Look back at what has worked in the past and what hasn't. Extract the golden nuggets from there, because that's where you're going to build up your own lesson learned. Your own intuition will come from learned lessons from your own experience, not from somebody else's, not from another podcast, not from, like, emotions, when we have emotion tied to lessons learned, it sticks. It sticks. So extract the gold and then create the plan moving forward. And then stick to the plan. Trust yourself in creating of this plan. Trust that you know what's good for you and your family and your life and your body and your goals and your desires and your aspirations. Trust it. Because in that trust, then you'll just be like, okay, just do this today. And that's all I need to do. And then you have freedom to be, do, and have whatever you want outside of the one thing that you know you need to do today for your possible goal. And then at whatever moment, I like to do this every month, look back at the plan and say, okay, what worked? What didn't? That ROI, create a pivot, and then go again. And that's how we knock off everything off of our 55 list. And that's how we start to build sustainable, consistent motivation and momentum for our life. And that's when we start to experience the things that we want to be experiencing in this life, where we're not just saying, okay, next year I want to do this. Next year I want to do this. If only I planned out this. Plan it now. Plan it now. We got 5 more months of 2023. Why not now? Why not start right now? Don't be in the spot where you're like, oh, I'm just going to wait till the end of summer. And then September's the month. Okay. I kind of did it in September, but not totally. Okay. October. We got 3 months left, 90 days left. All right. Okay. November. Okay. Well, I'm already in the thick of things. I'm already trying to catch up. I'm already behind. I already feel like I'm in over my head. Let's just wait until the New Year's. Do not wait until the New Year's no more. Knock it out. Start now. Contemplation now. I promise you, it's the biggest difference that's made my life so much better. So much better. So much better. Because I'm actually creating the memories that I want to have now and living into those memories and being intentional. And I get so excited. It's like Christmas. You're like, okay, I know that this is coming tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's happening. That's my month every day. Or that's my life every day, every week, every month. Because I said, what do I want? What do I want to experience? What do I want to do? What do I want to have? And then I put it in my calendar and I honor my calendar, honor my time. Even if it doesn't make sense to go and get a birthday gift for our niece in the middle of Wednesday, because that's quote unquote when you should be working. No. I'm going to honor the things that I desire, because I know that when I feel good, I am so much better at my work. And I get things done like that within an hour that usually sometimes can take people a whole workday. The answer just comes to me. And that's when the potential comes in. The potential of, what if I create a new program? It's when I'm living the life that I desire, that I feel good, is when I'm walking around looking at water balloons, that the idea just hits me. I didn't know how, I didn't know when a new program landed in my mind. And that's the magic. That's the magic, guys. So go do this work. And if you would know also, let me grab my calendar. So this podcast is coming out on 8/8. We now have a new masterclass coming the week of August 21st. Now, at this time, we don't know what it's going to be about. We don't know how long it's going to be about. I have an idea of what it's about, but I'm not ready to disclose that just yet. Just know it's going to be something that I've been embodying since May, and it's changed everything for me. So again, if you'd like to join me in the masterclass, it's going to be for free, of us having not even conversations, but more me teaching, creating this vortex for transformation. If you'd like to be in that, at this time, reach out to me. I hope by August 8th, I will have a page to sign up for that. And I hope that I should have way more information by that time. I will. I promise you I will. But just know that's coming. Go look on my social media. You can follow me at katy.chris.youngdahl on Instagram, and then Katy Chris Youngdahl on Facebook is where I'm at. So I love it when you guys reach out to me. I've had a few people reach out to me about the podcast and also about my social media, and it just makes my day every single time. So I love you, and I hope someday something this week takes your breath away. Mwah. Hey there. Thank you so much for listening. My goal is to help as many women listening, and if this episode supported you in any way, the very best way to show your appreciation is by simply screenshotting this episode and sharing on your social media or with your friends. Or even better, drop a review on whatever platform you are listening on. Don't forget, if you are looking for any additional support, you can always reach me on Instagram at Katy Christ. See you back here next week.